What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and you are joining me as we cover the Attitude Year Season 2. We are almost at the end of it, and we are covering WWF SmackDown from December 23rd, 1999, live in Dallas, Texas. And we kick off the night with Mankind talking to the main roster. Mankind says, I want to address the McMahon-Helmsley era in the WWF. I think this era stinks. Who the hell are Triple H or Stephanie to order us to fight? He talks about how Matt Hardy's in the hospital. Tess has a broken nose. And he basically just shit talks everything that the McMahon Helmsley era has been doing. And he says, we're not going to take it anymore. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley walks in. She says, what the hell are you doing? And she goes, this is my company. I need to explain things. My biggest mistake is listening to Triple H. However, it's no longer McMahon-Helmsley era. I'm the one in control, and I'm going to be the one making the matches for tonight. So, Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho comes out. Well, to go back there for a minute, I obviously don't trust or believe anything she says, and I think it's silly that the roster would, but we'll see how it all plays out. Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho comes out. Jericho says, now that we are in the holiday season, there won't be anything jolly about Holly's holiday because I'm going to deck these halls with the douchebag of Holly. So we have Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho defending against Hardcore Holly with Crash. During the match, Jericho lands a spinning heel kick, but Hardcore Holly puts his foot on the ropes. Jericho applies the walls of Jericho, but then Crash Holly attacks Y2J after China runs down and helps Chris Jericho and attacks the Hollies. We still don't know what China's motives are in helping Chris Jericho. She just lost the title to him at Armageddon. And since the pay per view, she's been helping him, having his back, making sure he keeps that title. Hopefully, we'll get some answers in the next couple of episodes of Raw and SmackDown as to what's going on here. But right now, China is just helping out Chris Jericho. DX are backstage. Triple H tells him marriage is marriage, but this is business, and he'll think of something to try to stop Steph. Stephanie is then seen talking to Kane. She says um, she's nervous about DX and she needs protection from him. And Tori's skin must be crawling. And she tells Kane, if you help me tonight, you can have anybody on Raw to compete against. So Kane definitely probably wants to help Stephanie just so that he can get his hands on X-Pac here. Rikishi then takes on Viscera and defeats him after a bonsai drop after Too Cool and Rikishi do their dance. Viscera is never anything good in the ring. He just runs around, splashes people, and that's pretty much it. But Viscera and Rikishi needed to fight after their incident on Armageddon, and Rikishi got the upper hand in this match. The Rock gets interviewed backstage before his special steel cage match with Al Snow later on tonight. We then have one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Road Dogg, defending against Tess. Tess lands a gut wrench power bomb, and then Tess hits Road Dogg with a protective mask and lands a pump handle slam and a flying elbow drop. Tess gets the win. After the match, Tess grabs a chair, but Road Dogg runs up the ramp. However, Tess continues to attack Road Dogg. Not a good night so far for DX with the Road Dogg getting beaten and attacked by Test here. Test getting some kind of revenge for his broken nose. We then see Triple H confronting his wife Stephanie backstage. He tells her he can't be put in a cage suspended above the ring. He says he'll get eaten alive. Stephanie says this is business. Sex is great. This is the McMahon era, though. And then she grabs police to make sure that Triple H will get inside that cage later on tonight. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the match. Next up, we have Edge taking on Kurt Angle. During the match, Steve Blackman comes out with a kendo stick, and we're not sure who he's aiming for because both Angle and Edge are at the ropes. But Angle moves, and Blackman ends up hitting Edge with the kendo stick. Kurt Angle gets the pinfall, and Kurt Angle is again victorious in the WWE. Stephanie is yelling at Steve Blackman backstage to stay out of Kurt Angle's business. So I guess that there's a change in something. I don't know what's going on here, but first Stephanie wanted to help Kurt, and now she's like, let him do his own thing. Al Snow is pissed talking to Stephanie again. We see a lot of Stephanie tonight. He's mad that he's facing The Rock, and Stephanie tells him that if he wins, he will get a title shot against the WWF champion. So Al Snow definitely wants in on the steel cage match now. So now we have Al Snow taking on The Rock. During the match, Al Snow low blows The Rock. Rock hits Al Snow with a steel chair, lands a rock bottom on top of the chair and a people's elbow, and The Rock defeats Al Snow here tonight in a steel cage. Finally, get revenge on Al Snow for everything he's done to both Mankind and himself. Ivory comes out and challenges the Cat to any type of match as long as it's a wrestling match. So Ivory's taking on the WWF Women's Champion, the Cat. However, China comes in, attacks Ivory, and the Cat pins Ivory to retain her Women's Championship. Cat, as the Women's Champion, really is doing nothing for the title. She's just known for showing off her body. But that extra element of China being there like adds some mystique to her character. But I do know eventually they're going to break off, and I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. We then have Christian and Jeff Hardy with Terry taking on Kaientai with the Mean Street Posse. Jeff Hardy lands a Swanton Bomb to Funaki to get the win. After Kaientai dropkick Mean Street Posse and get rid of them. So even the Mean Street Posse can't hang with Kaientai here. This is the first time we're seeing them on SmackDown, though we'll be seeing more of Kaientai in the future. Next up, we see Kane defeat Mr. Ass in a quick fashion after landing a choke slam. After Mr. Ass tosses Kane into the ring post, but Kane chases Mr. Ass through the crowd. The New Age Outlaws both losing their matches here tonight on SmackDown. Triple H goes to help Mr. Ass, but the police lock Triple H in the room, and Kane attacks both Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, and Road Dogg ends up telling Kane where Tori is. So now Kane obviously is going to be looking for her. Mark Henry comes out with the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. Henry says, all the hot nights that me and May have spent together makes me so proud to be in my home state of Texas. So we now have Mark Henry taking on Bubba Ray Dudley. The end comes when Devon gets on the top rope, but Mae Young and Moolah pull him, basically squishing his balls against the top rope. Mark Henry hits a splash to Bubba Ray, and Mark Henry gets revenge for the attack that the Dudley boys gave to his girl Mae Young and his friend, the fabulous Moolah. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley comes out, followed by Triple H, who's being escorted out by cops. They put Triple H in the cage, and it's raised above the ring. We then have the invitees, which are Test, Edge, Christian, and Jeff Hardy. They're at ringside to basically get their hands on Triple H once the match ends. WWF champion, The Big Show, defending his title against Mankind. We see Mankind breaking a chair over Big Show's head. Big Show drops his body onto Mankind in the ring. Mankind applies Mr. Sacco, but they fall to the floor. The cage that Triple H is in starts to be lowered. Heels attack the invitees, and then Stephanie tries to get the key from Triple H. Triple H gets out. Triple H grabs Stephanie to block Mankind, and then Stephanie low blows Mankind. Triple H hits the referee and Mankind with a steel chair. Outlaws attack the Big Show, while Triple H again continues to attack Mankind with the chair and the chain that was locking him in that cage. Stephanie and Triple H smile and hug, and then Triple H says, in this joyous season, we've only got 2 words for you. Merry Christmas. So Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley, again, proving that she cannot be trusted this entire night. She had the roster thinking she was on their side, but in the end, DX and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley stand strong. However, I know Mankind is not going to just take this lying down. We'll find out what happens next on Raw's War as we head into the year 2000 and the Royal Rumble. We'll be entering season 3. Check out season 1 in the archives. We've got, I think, after this episode of Raw, we've got another SmackDown that we're in season 3. So check out all the other out here episodes. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.